What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the fourth studio album by rap rock group Hollywood Undead. This album is titled Day of the Dead. That was the name of the first single that was released way back in October. We're finally getting the album. This record has been teased for over a year now. I think J3T, Johnny Three Tears of the group, posted something on Instagram in maybe like March of 2014 saying a new album in the summer. Got pushed back, but now we're finally to the point of a new record. We got 7 songs total released before the album came out, and don't even get me started on how much I hate that, because what's the point of an album if you're just gonna spoil it by releasing almost every single song from the standard edition? Literally 7 out of 12, that's more than half, and it's absurd in my mind. Anyways, that's besides the point. It has nothing to do with the quality of the music, and the music should speak for itself, right? Well, on this record, it does not. I cannot defend Hollywood Undead here, honestly. For the most part, there are some passable tunes, a few that are exceptional and kind of stand out from the pack, and unfortunately that was the first 2 tracks that we got to hear from the record. That would be the title track, Day of the Dead, and Usual Suspects. Those are by far the 2 best songs on the album, and that is a damn shame that we got to hear those just first, and the rest of the album just kind of drags along and goes in so many different directions that I don't even really know what to say about it. It feels like they tried to go with more of like an electronic and danceable sound, and something that would be found in the club, and while they have kind of pulled that off in the past with tracks like Gangsta Sexy, and not saying that I'm the biggest fan of that track, but at the same time, I mean, it was okay. I find that in the past they have made those songs fun, Coming In Hot, California, the party tracks, even Pigskin. They're enjoyable enough, and I feel like they've been passable, and I've defended Hollywood Undead plenty of times in the past. I feel like I've been one of the only music critics that has actually enjoyed them. But this new album, for the most part, is so bland and so unenjoyable, it's just absolutely absurd. They took such a leap backwards in my mind. Instead of growing up, they grew down, if that's even a thing. Maturity levels on this album have never seemed lower. I mean, even the tracks that try to be a little bit more serious, like the closer Save Me and Dark Places, I still just don't find myself really connecting with them because they don't feel as genuine as tracks like Lion or Outside off of their last effort, Notes from the Underground, which might be their best album they put out to date. It just felt like such a step forward in their career. I was like, okay, they're slowly, putting the party songs on the back burner. They're growing up. I'm maturing along with Hollywood Undead. I still like their rap rock style and just kind of the, metal and hard rock aspects that they kind of throw in there as well. And Day of the Dead seemed promising, the title track. After hearing a couple of tracks, even Usual Suspects, I was like, okay, it's danceable, but at the same time, the guitars are there, it's loud, it's abrasive, it's in your face. J3T, Charlie Scene, Funny Man, everyone's spitting on this track, and it sounds phenomenal to me. It's not their best song to date, but at the same time, very pleased with it, and I'm interested to see where they're going with the album. Well, how did it turn out? Like I was saying, it's kind of messy and all over the place and very uninteresting. Tracks like Does Everybody in the World Have to Die seem like they're hopping on like the 2012 dance and electronic dubstep wagon, and it's absolutely ridiculous. The themes found on tracks like Party by Myself, it sounds like top 40 radio, and some of the most forced wordplay I've seen from any of these MCs to date. You can tell just from the titles of some of these songs that they might feel stale. I mean, another track called Gravity, I mean, how many bands have done that recently? There's some moments that genuinely feel cringeworthy to me, whether it be with their lowbrow humor that really just, it feels like they've set their sights on going back to the style of Swan songs lyrically, but, they're no longer like 20 years old, so it just feels a little bit ridiculous. I mean, the use of the word faggot on one of the tracks just felt really uncomfortable for me, considering I thought they were kind of past that point in their career. Not to say that it was okay back in the day, but the more I've grown up, the more I was hoping that Hollywood Undead would as well, and would realize that it's mainly like 13-year-olds on like message boards that still use that word as like a derogatory term. Does Everybody in the World Have to Die? That dance-leaning nightmare that I mentioned is not the worst track on this album, I wouldn't say. Party by Myself is probably the biggest offender, although I'm struggling with the track War Child as well. I like the instrumental on it enough, not to say that it's not enjoyable. The guitars fused with the electronics seem decent enough and listenable, and kind of something I would like tap my foot along with, and then the lyrical content and then Hollywood Undead's MCs just do not fit well with that style of that song in particular. It just seems very off. There's a few highlights on the album. I already mentioned enjoying Usual Suspects and Day of the Dead. Take Me Home is another one that I'm enjoying, along with the track Dark Places. I like Danny's part on that track. I thought he did a good job of creating the atmosphere and setting the tone and the pace for Dark Places. The keyboards were a very nice touch on Dark Places. I kind of like the whoa, whoa on the Take Me Home track that followed right after that, so that was a nice 1-2 combo. The pounding drums on that track sounded good as well. But for the most part, I'm feeling like most of the band members what did they really do other than vocals? I mean, I guess a lot of them operated the programming and keyboards and that sort of thing, the synthesizers, but it just kind of feels like a messy, all over the place, not really a group effort, and I'm having a hard time finding too much positive to say about this new album, Day of the Dead. I think that Hollywood Undead can do a lot better. I mean, there definitely are some moments that show promise here on this record. Even tracks like How We Roll, where I'm not really a big fan, I can definitely see that some of the verses on the track are strong, but then the chorus and the instrumentation feels lackluster. I mean, Charlie Sheen delivered a very solid verse on that track, I thought. It was fun. They kind of played off of each other, and they kind of throw jokes at each other, kind of like they have in the past, like they're talking to each other through their rhymes, and I like and appreciate that. I like whenever they feel like they're a full band coming together, but so much of this record just feels disconnected, and I think the audience is going to pick up on that as well. Keep in mind, this is just my opinion, so let me know what you're thinking about the new record Day of the Dead in the comment section down below. Of course, you can check the description if you want to see my favorite and least favorite tracks and that sort of thing. For me, this album is a 2 out of 5. Yikes! I'm sure some people are not going to be happy with me on this review, but of course, as always, I'm just being honest and upfront with you guys with my honest opinions on albums, so don't take it too personally. If you're a big fan of this record, let me know why in the comment section, and make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Thanks so much for watching. If there's any other albums you'd like to see me tackle, let me know about them in the comment section down below, and I will see you very soon right here on ARTV.